report. Waking up in Ashkelon, seen everything we lost. All he ever asked, these commandments gave us loss. Waking up and witnessing how bad was the fall. The clouds touched the buildings, y'all, we done lost it all. His eyes upon his land from the beginning to the fall. Lights up in my eyes, I can't explain, I'm just at all. We seen his protection, bombs drop, stood tall. Psalm 91, he out the fence, he the wall. It's the time of compassion, the remnant is gathering. Self-examination, meeting with prayer and fasting. Jerusalem, a holy city surrounded by many mountains. A good land, valley, and hills and deep fountains. Y'all, we did you wrong, we wanna stay home. We defiled your name, but you still waking up these bombs. You the only one that get these hymns, get these songs. Gather together, he on the throne.
Gather yourselves together. Gather yourselves together. Oh, nation not desire. Gather yourselves together. Gather yourselves together. Oh, nation not desire.
Before the decree, seek righteous, seek peace. Gotta stay humble, stay lowly, stay meek. The day of his anger approaching, we see. He want the remnant of Judah to see coast. We got the cheat code, don't need no peephole. He at the door, let him in, that's his people. The Lion of Judah gon' tear down their ego. She bout to fall, don't you end up where she go.
Gather yourselves together. Gather yourselves together. Oh, nation not desire. Gather yourselves together. Gather yourselves together. Oh, nation not desire.
Elder Barawak presents Nazarene Hebrew Institute of Technology.
Shalom, family. This is Nazarene Hebrew Institute Technology. Of course, y'all know we're not affiliated with any camps or hate groups. Giving glory to Yahweh Shi, Mashiach. I just wanted to get on and address my position on biblical Hebrew versus the Hebrew we speak. But before I get started, I want to greet everybody, and I want to give a special shout out to my brother K. Judah for that song and for all the songs he provided for Nazarene Hebrew Institute Technology. Please forgive me. I meant to say that yesterday. My wife got on me, but I was so overwhelmed and excited about Zion. I forgot to give you a shout out, man. So that song you heard with Barawak, majority every song in here, 95% is K. Judah's work, my brother. K. Judah has orchestrated that. Very talented brother, man, and I love him for the stuff he does to help me with this channel. And brother Yohanan, the stuff that I see him do inside the chat. You know, I didn't even ask him, man. So I appreciate him and everybody else that I don't notice sharing the videos and everything. Y'all know that there's been a split in our community, and we still fighting and growing and trying to win souls and. Just praise Yahweh for that. So Shalom, Sister Rose, Brother Ivan, K. Judah, Sister Joe, Jay Willis, Shalom, my brother, Yahudi Blue. Who else is in here? Anybody else I missed? If anybody else I missed, please forgive me. But definitely Shalom. Now, what I want to do is just make something clear, right? Because I don't want people to think that I was attacking my brother, first of all, him first, Yashia, even though we don't see eye to eye on things, right? But I specifically brought Zion on here to show people that stuff that I've been researching myself. I've seen a lot of red flags in the so-called Hebrew that we speak, right? So if you haven't watched the video last night, it behooves you to go watch that video, right? So here's my position, first and foremost. I'm not going to be the one to say the Hebrew that we were learning was trash. I'm not going to do that. That's not my intention at all. I'm just saying this. The way I was taught that, I thought this was a language, right? So me being in this truth 20-something years, the Hebrew is something that I never really took serious to learn. And the reason why, and I'm being honest, my spirit didn't sit right that it was a language. The reason why, y'all heard a lot of my testimonies in prison where I took reading and comprehension classes because I had studied with that, so struggled with that. So I learned in those classes and reading and comprehension what verbs are, what grammar is, what nouns are, what adjectives are. I learned that in prison, in school, when I went to college. First, I got my GED, then I took a college course, and I got a degree in logistics. What I do now in society, in my job, right? So, and I do a lot of reading in my job, right? So I'm familiar with language, and in any language, from the way I research and learn, grammar rules, whether they're oral or written down for centuries. And then what I also learned in the Semitic languages, all of them have masculine and feminine words, right? So when we say language, this is why I asked, and this is why I said what I said. Language, I'm speaking about language, not looking a word up in Hebrew, right? And not looking at the definition. I'm talking about the way I'm speaking right now. I'm speaking an English language. And I learned over the years, and this is why I didn't take it to initiative to really, really learn. And I was telling my wife this for 2 and 3 years because she's like, why you don't study? I said, because I don't see it as a language. Until somebody can put the book down and talk to me the way I'm talking right now in the language that we're supposed to be speaking, then I would view it as a language, right? So this is why I was starting to change my position. The only reason why I didn't learn a couple of years ago, because we had a strong ministry together. 4 or 5 days, I devoted my life to studying and bringing out information for y'all, sharing it with Yashia, him teaching certain stuff that we researched together. I researched on my own. He researched on his own. It's a lot of information we brought out. So we were busy a lot. And one thing I can say about me and Yashia, what we had in common is we didn't mind studying all through the night and all day. And when wasn't working, that was one of the things we really had in common. I don't know if he has a key person over there to do that with him now. I don't know. And that's none of my business. I don't watch the videos no more, none of that. I just pray for them every day, 3 times a day. That's what my duty is, to understand this and make it very clear to y'all. I don't see that language that's being taught, whether in my former teacher or not, as a language. I don't see it as a language because we cannot speak it. We cannot speak it fluently, and we cannot put that book down and speak like we're speaking now. So it's not a language. It's, yeah, you can look up the words and you can say ba and this, and then look up the definition and see what it is. That's great. I understand that, but it's not a language. And this is what we need to understand. And this is why I'm formally going in front of everybody and telling everybody I've changed my position on the Hebrew, because it's not a language. And I'm going to share a few things, what I mean. And so grammar, and anybody can research this stuff, right? So it ain't like I'm acting like I got a revelation or none of that. I mean, this is basic stuff and basic information in books. That's why I shared a book. Yesterday, I put up that book that Zion was talking about. Me and my wife, we study every day. We get off work. My wife make dinner, shower, and everything. We sitting down studying. You know, this is what we do. And we do it every day. You know, I'm not saying this to be better than somebody. This is why I'm capable of nobody. I don't care who it is. Not a man telling me I got mixed teachers or this and that. I'm not. The only thing I'm a babe in is the Hebrew. And what my cross-examination to that is, I can't find a Hebrew teacher yet that can talk like I'm talking right now and speak fluently in the scriptures like I'm talking now. Not one. And I'm being honest. And Zion, you know, has called up a lot of our brothers and sisters out. And see now, I see a lot of people that came in the chat yesterday, and they were talking about all these teachers they're gonna do, but nobody really wanted to send an email to me and say, set it up. I'll go against him and show you how he's wrong, and that this Hebrew we speaking is a language. That's my argument, y'all, that this is not a language. We say shalom, we greet each other the way we do and all that, but can I pick up the phone and call K. Judah and talk like I'm talking right now in this ancient language that we're talking about? If anybody could put together a system like that, then I would consider, even trying to learn it, right? But we don't even have a system like that. We don't have no rules, structure to the verbs, the masculine nouns. So I'm going to share this real quick. Grammar is the system of rules that governs how words, phrases, and sentences are structured in a language, ensuring clarity and meaning in communication, covering aspects like word order, semantics, word formation, morphology, and parts of speech, and can refer both to rules themselves and the study of them, and acts as frameworks that makes language understandable, allowing speakers to form coherent messages and readers to evolve and vary by language and context. Now, syntax is an arrangement of words, and like sentences, like, verbs, objects, order, like that. And then morphology are words that's added and for past tense. Parts of speech identifying words as nouns, verbs, adjectives, right? So it's like if I walk into a room, right, and this is true, and there's women in the room, the way I would address the women would be in a feminine way, right? But if it's a man in the room, I have to make sure I address a certain way and make sure that I address what I'm saying in a masculine form as well, right? So you can't like English. English doesn't have a masculine and feminine. We lost that. If you do the research on English, we lost that. But I'm just going to use an example. We go in a room and it's a bunch of ladies and we say, good afternoon, ladies. But if it's a man in there, you're going to have to address that too. So you say, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, or man or brother or whatever, So that's what I mean by that, right? Now, how you would say it in Hebrew, I don't know. But what I do know this from learning, that Hebrew and all Semitic languages have masculine and feminine. That's just one part of what I'm saying dealing with language, right? And what I've learned over the years, and then when I thought, Zion brought a lot of that to form. And what I mean by that is the vowel points. We always thought the vowel points and Yiddish, all that was modern Hebrew. That's what I thought, and that's what I was taught. The Yiddish is not the same. Y'all seen he demonstrated that. It's not the same. The vowels are in the Dead Sea Scrolls, the sounds, not the vowel points. He brought that out yesterday with the manuscript of Elohim and Elohim, how we pronounce that. And I found that very interesting. So why am I saying all that? And why am I on here to say all that? I'm not trashing the Hebrew. But until somebody can persuade me, right, and do a teaching, they don't have to have me there. Just make the video and send it out that you can speak this language that we so-called say we speak and we're teaching. And if you can speak it fluently and show me how we have certain structures and grammar rules to it, how things change, if it's a verb or a noun, who you speaking to, if all this, you do all that, then I can consider changing my. Excuse me, y'all. Can y'all hear me still? The internet went out for a minute. Okay, Judah, type of one if you can hear me real quick, my brother. I went out for a second. Okay, good. Yes, y'all, I agree with that. That's what, one thing about me, I cross-examine everything I'm being taught. Everything. And when I could figure out that I couldn't see this as a language, I mean, it's good. It's good to look up the words. We have to go to the concordance and see what they mean and all that. That's cool. But we can't say we learning Hebrew. We're just learning in the scriptures what the Hebrew words is that catch the errors for the translation. The Masoretic text is the most corrupted text there is, translation-wise. There's a lot of translation errors, but the Hebrew there's not, right? So still learning the Hebrew the way we pronounce it in the so-called modern, I call it the biblical Hebrew now, and learning the pronunciations are different. But here's the division, right? Or way the Hebrew what their my former teacher teaches or what anybody else teaches. Can't, right? But you can't speak it as a language. You can't put that book down and speak it. And that's why I don't see it as a language. If you look at languages, you can speak it, not just read it. You can speak it, write it, read it, communicate. And if we can't put together structures for that, we shouldn't be saying we're speaking ancient Hebrew. This is my cross-examination, right? And until somebody can come on and tell me, shut up and listen, and I'll show you, then I will see that there's an argument. But I've been in Clubhouse about this, before my brother even came home about the Hebrew. But I never chose to go that route to what I'm going now is because I always thought it was Yiddish. I always thought the vowel points was a big deal. I always thought that it was Gentiles. Now I don't order some books because I'm not familiar with who the Masoretes are, right? So I don't order some books in the history, and the research I got on paper is saying they are Israelites. Now I'm getting ready to dig into these books once they get here to see if they are. So now that opens up another whole can of worms, because I was taught that we don't sit up on the Gentiles, right? So the vowel points, from what we all know, the argument that me and my brother had, Gentiles could teach. So why not accept it? But, that's a whole nother thing. My argument, again, is language. And I'm going to share something else. 1 second. And I'm just telling everybody my position of why I'm going to learn this Hebrew. And I want to say this: Hebrew, Arabic, Ugaritic, all those are Semitic languages that's and Phoenician that's related to Hebrew, and all of them are masculine and feminine words, right? So let's see here. Bear with me 1 minute, y'all, because I want to read something else that caught my eye. One second. One second, y'all. Bear with me. All right, I think I got it. Yeah. Okay, so dealing with the masculine and the feminine, right? They call it the gender system for Semitic languages across the family. You can consistently find like 2 grammar genders. There's no neuter gender in Semitic languages. Genders applies to nouns. Now, when we say gender languages and family, masculine and feminine words, we're talking about not sex, words. And you have nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, and they all an example of the Hebrew, they all have feminine markers and masculine markers, these languages. Like Hebrew got Malachi, or however else you pronounce the third one. And some of those are feminine, and one of those are feminine, and the other one's nouns. So I say all this because I'm a babe in the Hebrew, but I'm not a babe into reading and comprehension and understanding what a language is. We have to understand what a language is. We have to research and do our own research what a language is. Then we have to fact check ourselves and say, look, are we speaking? Can this Hebrew be turned into a language where we all can talk to each other like that? If we can, then that's what should be being taught as well. Not just looking at the word, looking at the definition of Strong Concordance and reading the manuscript. Because biblical Hebrew that way is only for the Bible, studying the Bible. And that's good. I'm not taking away from that. That is good. However, we don't speak the language. Because do you think our ancestors were running around just reading the scriptures? They didn't even have the scriptures. They didn't have books. And at one time, they didn't even have scrolls. Everything was oral. That's why you hear, I bring these brothers in Africa on, the Torah was in their mouth. If you understand our culture, the Igbos, the Yoruba tribes, all these different tribes passed the oral traditions of the Torah down from their mouth to their family, generations into generations. That's why our history is preserved longer than any nation on the planet. Our history is known than any language on the planet. And so that's why, and look, some for Asiatic, I might have said something. I did say masculine, feminine verbs. something I said wrong, but correct me because I'm learning. But what I will tell you is that Hebrew does have a masculine and feminine words, and I know you would agree with that. So I'm not on here to try to teach no Hebrew, my brother. I know the scriptures. That's what I specialize in, and I'm a researcher and I do interviews. So I don't even teach, right? So I have my student teacher over there that teaches. What my calling is a researcher, and I share historical information. I can teach if I want to, dealing with the scriptures, but that's not my calling. All right, so I don't know if you're familiar with me or my community over here. So again, I'm just changing my position of I should be learning the biblical Hebrew, not the so-called Lashon Kodash. And for the record, my brother and them don't even call it. He never heard of it, and I will say that that's the truth until he came home. So he never heard of that, but that's what they use to coin the term. But I don't subscribe to it as a language. I'm going to learn. I'm already in the biblical Hebrew class with Zion. I'm going to continue to learn that. I just wanted to point out my position, why people think, if people take it offensive, right? Because I know some people probably took offensive what Zion said about the language. He doesn't see it at all as a language, and he's coming from an academic point of view. I'm not. I'm coming through just from the spirit, right, of a language. And until somebody can show me and teach me, because I'm a student, I don't claim to know it all. Teach me that, hey, this is a language. This is how you talk and say this, and that. Put down the Bible. If not, we're not speaking a language. And I'm going to learn the language. And by me learning the language, I can still be able to determine the Hebrew on the manuscripts that way too. It'll be a piece of cake. So my time now is more, because one thing about me, when I get inspired to learn something, I eat it up. I really go hard on it and try to learn it, because I don't want to be half speaking it and look like a fool when somebody asks me a question. I want to learn it fluently, and that way I can teach somebody in my family or anybody else for free. So yeah, family, that is the reason why I'm changing my position. I thank y'all. Why I never taught nobody that. I myself never taught nobody that Hebrew, and so I don't have to apologize to anybody. No, I have somebody teaching me already, my brother, the Hebrew. So I appreciate that. But I have a ministry here, and if you don't know about who I am, I'm Elder Barak, and what I do over here, I don't know if you're familiar with the channel, is we had a split. So let me share what's going on with that. That's over with, right? So the student teacher has been in our community. My duty in this community is to share historical information and sources. Language, I'm not good at that. I bring people on with identity, language, and culture. I have interviewed, if you look at my special guest list, I've interviewed Ron Dalton, I interviewed Harry Rosenberg, I interviewed linguistic scholar Doug Petrovich, author of the oldest alphabet in the world, linguistic scholars. His claim, and he did a heck of a presentation, that Hebrew is the oldest alphabet. I interviewed Tudor Parford. I interviewed, I think I already said, Harry Rosenberg. I interviewed Rabbi Demoda, scholar. I've interviewed Rabbi Mordecai. And I'm missing a few others that's on the list, about 10 or 12 people. And upcoming, I have a brother from the Yoruba tribe out of Lagos, Nigeria. He's going to be interviewed Saturday. I interviewed Remy Aola as well. So I do a lot of interviews, and I show a lot of historical sources through the teachings of my brother that's now the new teacher, and the teachings of my former brother, teacher. So that's what I do over here, my brother. Right. So you said Zion is right. You can't conjugate different stem forms. Okay, right. So that's the deal with that, my brother. I'm changing my position to learn That's who I'm in class with over there at Zion Lex. I go every Monday, Tuesday. Well, it's Monday, I think, but Monday I don't make all the classes because I do a lot of other stuff. But Mondays I'm there, and my wife is there faithfully as well. So you said quiet is kept. The paleo has vows in it as well. Probably does. That's what he said yesterday. That's what he said. The Dead Sea Scrolls as well. They just don't have points. So, if you do teach biblical Hebrew, my brother, post your information so people might want to come over and listen to it. But anyway, the purpose of my video, y'all, was just to tell y'all I will be greeting everybody shalom and shalom, because I'm not going to take away from that from my brothers that teach that. My brother Ben Ayal, y'all seen he had an interaction with Zion. I hope he learned from that as well. And he still got some more research himself to do. And it's okay. One thing I can say about Ben Ayal, I had so much respect for him because he had enough heart to unmute his mic and really have a dialogue. And, and he knows Hebrew better than me, and he's still learning. These teachers need to come out. And, and I'm not taking no shots at nobody. If we got the Hebrew and we definitely doing the right thing, then these teachers need to come out and defend it so we don't have to change over to learning the language. I just want to know if it's a language. If you could prove to me it's a language by speaking it, then you can teach me. I'm willing to sit up with anybody to learn the language. So that's why I picked Zion, because he knows the language. And not only that, the brother knows Metanetta. I seen the brother debate dudes that's supposed to be Kemet all these years and can't even read the hieroglyphics. I seen the videos live, seen it. So the brother also is a tour guide in museums of reading all these ancient artifacts and all that. That's what he do. I've been watching the brother for 9 years. I ain't just wake up and just start watching him. I've been seeing his position on it, and I've been pushing back because I wasn't doing no research. And so when I told my wife 2 years ago, we need to learn the modern. I called it the modern. We need to learn the modern Hebrew. And she's like, we ain't got time. And I was like, we didn't, because my life was dedicated to the ministry until it all broke up and fell to pieces, and that is turning out to be a blessing. And, I hate to say it, but sometimes things happen for a reason. It had to happen, and I'm not going to go down that street about all that, but definitely have a key thing. And let me say this, Ben Ayah, right? Praise Yahweh about this, man. I fought with my former teacher about letting Ben Ayah teach. He didn't think he was ready, right? Because he sat up under the teachers of some other brothers. But I seen something in him. And I argued for 2 weeks about he could teach. I know he can teach. And as y'all can see, he's humble and he's a student too. He don't know everything. I don't know everything. We don't claim that. But he's a well-studied young brother. And he loves Yahweh. And he's doing an awesome job. Y'all can't believe, I tell you something, I'm being honest. And I can show it. I wouldn't believe how many people came back that used to be in here listening, and how many people that emailed me about Ben Ayah. And I've been telling him. And he's getting comments on YouTube about him teaching. So for him to be a young brother in the truth as long as he's been in, he's doing an awesome job. And one thing I know about him, if he teaches something and say something wrong, he will definitely go back in front of everybody and admit that he was wrong. And that's what you're supposed to do as a teacher. That's why I respect Zion so much. I seen Zion Lex debate Divine and Danielle some years ago about the Messiah. And when I seen that man call and he thought he won the debate, y'all heard his testimony. I seen the whole debate. Not only did I see that, I seen him bring Divine on stage and apologize. And then I seen him turn to the Messiah. And I got 2 of his books on it. So I've been watching Zion since I came home. I've been telling people about Zion and my top 5 people that I learned from. And I got a asterisk next to K. Judah because I haven't known him as long as I've known Zion. But I've been learning from my brother K. Judah since I met him and he came into my life. You see, so I don't brag to know everything. But one thing I do know is no matter what, I may not know the language that well, but I'm not a babe where you can push anything on me because I research. I love Yahweh and I eat the book. And when it comes to the scriptures, I don't care what a scholar say. If it contradicts the scriptures, you false. I don't care who it is. If you bring me something from a scholar and it's saying in the Bible and the scriptures saying that, I'm going on the spirit of the scriptures. The only thing, the way the scriptures could be wrong, if it's in English and it's an error, translation error. In Hebrew, it's easy for me to look it up and see it and cross-examine it. But in a minute, I'm going to be able to just read it verbatim. Trust me. And one thing you're going to learn about Barawak is when I put my mind to something, I ain't going to sit there and tell you how long it's going to take. Before you know it, it might be a year, it might be 2 years, it might be 6 years. If Yahweh allow me to be on this earth still, you're going to hear me speaking it fluently, and I'm going to be having classes showing people. You can mark that down right here live, what I just said. I'm going to be teaching it because I believe it's a language, and we need to learn the language as well. And I think it's important. So definitely, I thank everybody. If you got any questions for me, please put in the chat. I'll wait a minute. Coming on Daniel Fierce Lion. I interviewed him before. He's from the Yoruba tribe. And Jay Will, I want to tell you, I love you, bro. I understand your position that you put in the chat and YouTube, but I need you to know something, brother. It's a bunch of people I interview on here, even Zion. I don't agree with everything they teach. So please, y'all, when y'all see stuff and y'all hear stuff, because Remy said some stuff that me and Benayah disagree with. But when I bring these brothers from Africa on here, and I bring like these Gentile scholars that done been to Africa and talked to these people, y'all got to eat the meat and spit out the bones. Them people know we the people of the book. The Prophet got on here and said verbatim that we the people. He got on here and said verbatim, all Jews were dark. 4 generations. I mean, we can trace our oral traditions back thousands of. That's why the Torah was in their mouth. That's what we have to understand. And like Zion said, and y'all can fact check it, the scriptures was written way after that. The Torah was oral first, and then it got put down in writing. So that's what the Igbos say. The Igbos and all them say that the Torah was oral for them, and that's how they passed it down. So they're just following the traditions and customs of how they gave the Torah. Then it got on paper or scrolls or whatever, manuscripts or whatever the case may be. There wasn't no chapters and verses, and none of all that stuff started adding up later. But it was oral first, and they held and preserved all that for us. So again, please, everybody take in consideration to fact check this stuff. Just don't let no teacher, I don't care who it is, just tell you what you shouldn't be doing. You got mixed teachings and all that. Because me, one thing about me, anything that I learned and I know it, I'm not scared to go live with somebody that taught me or somebody that disagree with me. I would have a respectful live dialogue. I've done it in Clubhouse. I've done it on this channel. I had 5 people check out and don't even come live with me because I'm not going to speak on something that I'm not well studied in. I don't need a man to tell me that I'm not well studied. I know because I can be able to articulate what I can teach and what I know. And I don't know how you see this and how I'm wrong. That's what makes me very unique than a lot of other people that's supposed to be well studied. I can learn from anybody. I don't choose. I'm not a babe where I could be led into something, a false teaching, or none of that. That even with the Hebrew, I read enough to know the difference from a language. I comprehend very well than just speaking something that we can't articulate as a language and we can't speak it fluently. That's why I didn't show the initiative to learn that when I was being taught. And so people are going to make videos about me and this and that. I don't care. I don't care. I know you ain't going to go live with me about none of this stuff I'm saying. Whoever, So this ain't about trying to know it all. This is about trying to learn. We learn and relearn. That's what I'm doing right now. That's why I made this video. I want to come back and say, and I thank y'all why I didn't teach nobody this. So I want to come back and say, look, we need to learn this. We need to learn this, family. We need to learn this. It gives us a better system and structure of a language. I'm not saying throw away that. They both can be learned. But if we want to speak it fluently, we need to learn the language. And, and so I'll be greeting people. Y'all see me on Facebook, probably using the Hebrew, and some of y'all mock me and everything else. But that same thing Zion was saying, how when he went Messianic and all the Torah people was mocking him and turning on him and this and that. But look what he did. He gained the salvation for that. Don't never let a man or a woman tell you what you shouldn't be able to detect was false and what ain't. That's how you learn. You don't learn to sit up and be a regurgitator the whole time. This is why I used to challenge people in my community. No lie. I used to challenge them. How you see this? How you see that? I'm confused. I see this way. It's not about trying to see if I know more than somebody. But if you can't go on your own without the teacher and explain to somebody, your family members and all that, what you learned and what you know, how we Israelites, then you're learning for nothing. You're learning for nothing. That person knows it all, and everything they do is false. Because now, from the stuff people be telling me and all that, all of a sudden now, I don't know nothing. And it's just preposterous to even hear something like that. From people I've been around who know me for years. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like envy or jealousy or something, man. It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? All these years I put in with this community and all that, and I don't know. I've got big teachers. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. But I love them. I love everybody, and I walk in love. And like I said, that's why I gave people his channel, my brother Yashia and all that. And I don't hate him. I just know the truth is the truth. And it took that to happen, not going down that road a little bit, but it took this to happen off of one thing. And then our custom and traditions and Zion's shook his head, yeah, too. We don't let a Gentile sit up on top of our community and teach. So definitely thank y'all, man, for everybody coming and listening. I just wanted to just tell everybody I changed my position on the Hebrew. And my brother Ben still will be doing his thing with the Hebrew. I'm not knocking him for that. I thank y'all. He ain't get mad and want to leave. But he's a strong individual, you know what I'm saying? And he's a researcher, so he's going to continue to look at this as well. But I will say this on record for the 15th time. I'm not knocking my brothers for their Hebrew. I'm standing on it's not a language. We can't close the book and speak it. So it's not a language. We're learning the biblical part of it, but it's not a language. And until somebody can show me I'm wrong, and I will definitely come on and apologize to everybody. If I can get one person come on and just have a conversation like this, or flow through the manuscripts, through the pages, speaking it, just flow through, just even speaking it, just out the Bible. I ain't even really taking away from the language. Just flow through the books and read. Zion have done that plenty of times, and to other brothers, and they have to go back and look a word up or this or that. They stumble, So when we say we know something fluently, that's just like we speak English fluently. We read, now we might have some little errors on our pronunciation on English, but we speak it and read it and understand it, and that's a language. So, I appreciate everybody. I just wanted to come on and share my position. And if I offended anybody in any way, please forgive me, because that's not my intentions. I don't claim to know it all. I'm a student first. And what Zion has been putting out has been some historical. And until somebody in our Israelite community can get up and challenge him and say, hey, you're looking at this wrong, and this is why, and articulate it and put up a good argument, it makes sense for us to learn this Hebrew you're talking about. I mean, come on, man. Let's not take sides because you're my homeboy or because I've known you for this long. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. If this was my mother, my father, my brother, I would be going against it the same way. I'm not going to take nobody's side just because. Nobody. If I'm right and I see the facts, I'm going to speak truth. It took me 9 years to develop who I am. I've been in the truth 20-something years, but I was never walking right. There's a difference being in the truth and walking right. You have to have good character. You have to try to have a clean heart. You have to be sincere, be truthful, be respectful, be honest. Do I sometimes get a blow up at people? Yeah, I know that. But one thing I can stand is correction about me. A lot of people don't like speaking to me because they have a perception, because I call stuff out and speak my mind in the open. I don't sugarcoat stuff. When I see things that are wrong, I correct them. Because you know why? I can stand correction. I'm going to give a shout out to a brother that left our community, not because of me either. Yah. When this happened, this young brother, and shout out to him, he's making me some slides. I talk to him all the time. He left the community, and I'm not going to say why, but it wasn't because of me, right? That brother called me, and I'm sharing something that I never shared with nobody else. He called me and gave me correction about me blowing up in the meeting before the split, right? He said, man, you was wrong. You handled that different the way, because I was in my feelings. I did blow up. Because of what was lied about, right? But he was right, because the character that I am today, I'm not Majid, the one that was out in the street shooting guns and robbing, then turning around selling drugs. And I wasn't Majid. That's who I was in the streets. I'm Barawak. And I'm a different type of person who renewed my mind, right? And so I fell back, my back on the couch, and I said, man, he right. That ain't my character no more, because I blew up. I didn't use no profanity, nothing. I just was yelling, and I appreciated that. You know what I mean? And if y'all didn't listen, I apologized on live about doing that. So I stand correction. A lot of people can't. A lot of people, when you tell them they're wrong, they do something wrong, they start looking at you, start using bad leadership. And that's why I had bad leadership, because I corrected stuff. The scriptures tell us to do this with each other. But yet still, it's bad leadership. And so, one thing about me, I'm going to keep digging and learning and being a student first. I love everybody on here. I love everybody that's watching. The format now moving forward, y'all, is Ben and y'all teaching on Friday nights, 8:30. I do got Tudor Parfit coming back doing a presentation when he gets back into the country. We'll set a date of him doing a migration pattern of the Lemba tribe, how they left Israel and got into South Africa. And by the way, K. Judah did a video on the maps with Israel. Y'all need to watch that. That ain't Israel. They know. They left from there, and they got a migration pattern that Tudor Parfit traced from all the way there to Israel. So he'll be coming on. I have Edith Bruder. If you don't know who Edith Bruder is, I read her book back in 2010, I think. Yo, listen, y'all think To The Prophet, he is like that. That's one of his students, but she's older. Listen, she in Paris. I've been talking to her. I'm trying to get exactly a date. She's the author of Black Jews in Africa, but she's been to Mali, Ghana. She's done research on the Zakor Empire. She is like that. And she's coming on. She's the older woman, elderly woman, so I got to be patient with her. I think she's close to 90. But these are people that did research on our people. Now, listen, y'all, before I go, don't get in there, y'all asking questions, attacking them, just say we the Israelites and all, because one thing y'all need to know, and y'all need to know that a lot of these people have political backgrounds and a lot of dealing with money, so they only can say certain things, right? But one thing I respect about Tudor got on and said straight up, we the original people, pretty much. And you can go back and check that. Go into my special guest interview and pull up To The Prophet, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But again, now I'm trying to get out of here. Love y'all with a pure heart, as my brother K. Judah say. Definitely love him. Love y'all. I love everything about Israel. And like I said, I changed my position. I'm a student first. I'm going to go learn this Hebrew, me and my wife, and we're going to be speaking it fluently. And definitely be teaching everybody soon. Yeah, okay. Good to see you, better. Y'all, I was talking about how good of the job you doing, my brother. All praise to Yahweh. I love you, man. And definitely love y'all. Shalom, family. We see y'all Friday. And remember, this Saturday, we got the brother from Lagos, Nigeria, Daniel Fierce and Lion from the Yoruba tribe. The oral traditions are going to be a lot different from the Limba and the Igbo. So please, y'all come in Saturday and listen to what he got to say, and all praises.
You only ever know. Y'all the main ones I'm watching on my throne. Created everything, but I called you my own. That land I gave you, put my name on it, my home. Yeah, that's my home. Israel, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. I made a promise, can't nobody take it. I chose to put you above all the nations. Out of your graves, I chose to awaken. We made a covenant, don't you forsake it. Come get protected while they going crazy. Israel, my firstborn, my baby. Israel, my firstborn, my baby. I woke you up in your land of captivity. I do not change, I want you to remember me. Laws and commandments, I gave you the remedy. Go read the testimonies for your memory. I sent them prophets, but you wasn't hearing me. I come to you if you really come near to me. I heard your cry, now it's time to take it to me. I know what got you from all of your enemies. Who open the sea. Them waters are bitter, but I made it sweet. In case you ain't know how to swim, I'm your protector, so I made you walk on your feet. This a reminder you married to me. I just want you to be all I called you to be. They called you niggas, but I made you priests. I'm about to give you back everything. I'm sending plays for you. I'm sending boys, drying up rivers. I leave them dead for you. Tell Pharaoh, let my people go. You heard what I said for you. Tell Pharaoh, let my people go. You heard what I said for you. For you, you only ever know. Y'all the main ones I'm watching on my throne. Created everything, but I called you my own. That land I gave you, put my name on it, my home. Yeah, that's my home. Israel. I'm the reason you in captivity. We made a covenant, you ain't remember me. You broke the covenant, I sent your enemies. Get out my land since you wasn't fearing me. I'm the reason they put you in chains. I'm the reason they switched up your name. I'm the reason why you in the hood. I'm the reason of all your pain. I'm sending flows fast, daily. Think I don't love you. Y'all my babies. Gave my son, must be crazy. Come out that system, come out of that lady. They got that military when I face praise me, it would not move me, it would not graze me. Remember Egypt, I did all that for my people. You only ever known. Y'all the main ones I'm watching on my throne. Created everything, but I called you my own. That land I gave you, put my name on it, my home. Yeah, that's my home. You only ever known. Y'all the main ones I'm watching on my throne. Created everything, but I called you my own. That land I gave you, put my name on it, my home. Yeah, that's my home. Israel.